So like I come from a comic book background. So
same.
These people have said for so long that Miles doesn't have a story. He doesn't have his own thing. And they finally do it and people are upset about it. That's what bothers me.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know you were a comic book guy, man. We got some shit to show you now. We got to show him that Miles thing with our buddy Eric July.
Oh God.
You know about that guy?
Yeah. I talked about him sparingly, but I don't like him. he's one of those guys that I just
debated him.
Oh, you debated him, Bob?
Oh yeah. He it was interesting.
Is that like a public video or?
It
is on my channel. He took his down.
We got several little things clipped from it, that like he was generally
rocky, I will say that, but then as it goes, it gets way like he doesn't do great towards the end.
No, because he's got his little tactics and stuff like that he avoids, like consistency or having to really answer stuff he doesn't want to answer for and things like that. And Bob kind of, I think he was a little bit he underestimated Bob, that's for sure. And then at the end he did like a 2-hour cope stream after the debate where he's just like ranting and screaming, talking about how he's built for fighting or something like that, and just like all this crazy shit making.
All I'm saying is you in no position to be acting like you give so much about fucking the women. Your bitch ass couldn't even stay with yours. Shut the fuck up talking to me. I'm not gonna do that, right? I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna use aggression on you, but all I'm saying is people done got knocked the fuck out for a lot less. Never done anything athletic, and he talking sideways. Like I said, like he's gotta see me anyway. Don't let me go to a con and his motherfucking ass is there. He has to see me. Right? I ain't saying I'm gonna knock his ass out. He's like, is that a threat? Like, ain't nobody threatening you, motherfucker. We already know you can't whoop my ass. That's not what the dispute is. I'm saying we gotta have a discussion, and there might be someone that's a lot less patient than me. They are a lot less patient than me. You go around acting like that, they gonna slap your bitch ass, right? They gonna aggress. I'm not that type of guy. Like I said, people get their teeth knocked out for a lot less than that, man. You can't just go around disrespecting motherfuckers like that. You can't do that. Not saying me. Like me, I can. Like I'm not gonna kick your shit in, right? I'm not gonna kick your shit in. That I have and tell people that you commit fraud. We got this jackass in the chat. Here's this. Eric is so immature. This is how I think he says. Eric is so immature and insecure, resorting to fat jokes, making fun of his family situation and threatening physical violence. Yet somehow he's the good guy here. First of all, I didn't threaten physical violence. Like I said, he's not gonna whoop my ass. I'm a boxer, bro. I don't go around trying to get in fights with people. That shit, martial artists don't do that shit, right? I don't go around trying. I'm saying he might get his teeth knocked out by somebody else. So it's not threatening physical violence. Like I said, ain't nobody doing that shit, man. I've fucking been boxing for all these years, man. Just I was fucking a teenager, man. Ain't no martial artist going to try to get in fight with motherfuckers over in there. Anybody trying to do that probably can't fight. That's all I'm saying. He good with me. At least with me, I wouldn't fucking slap him. Like I got enough in me to be like, you know what, bro? I know you a hoe, and you don't know any better. So I'm gonna advise you, with me, you can get away with that. With other people, they don't got the restraint.
If you ever look at my comments and see somebody talk about Tyrone, that's 100% because Eric July made up the story about how my wife left me and took my kids to be with Tyrone.
Well, see, it's different points in his rant, though. He's saying you left at one point, and then another point he's saying Tyrone actually. So he can't even get his own fucking lie straight.
Let me get this straight. This guy's claiming so much about bigotry, so much about women. Yo, bitch ass. Let me get here. Matter of fact, zoom into me, right? Yo, bitch ass couldn't even stay with the fucking mother of your fucking children. 5'11", doughy, hair thinning like a motherfucker, and you could not stay with the mother of your fucking children, right? So you want to talk about, you've left your parents or your children with a single mom. You left your children with a single fucking mom, divorced, fat, and out of shape, right? And white, right? All I'm fucking saying is that this guy is sitting here trying, as a guy that divorced the fucking, he divorced the like, that's the worst thing you could possibly do, is leave your children to grow without. I know shit doesn't work out, but you are not in a position to talk about people not giving a fuck about women, right? when your bitch ass, you not even with the children. Wife left your bitch ass, right? Which, you know, I guess shit happens. Look, shit happens. I ain't saying that it don't happen. All I'm saying is you in no position. You divorced. All I'm saying is you in no position to be acting like you give so much about fucking the women. Your bitch ass couldn't even stay with yours. Shut the fuck up talking to me. Wife left her thinning ass. You ain't even can't talk to your bitch ass. Can't talk to your kids, man. Can't talk to your children. And you talking about fucking trying to go to bat for women and fucking autistic people. Get the fuck out of my face. Your wife's boyfriend left your bitch ass and took the kids, said he shared custody. We know what the fuck that mean. You ain't sharing no damn custody. We already know what that mean. Tyrone raising them damn kids. Shared custody. You ain't got no motherfucking shared custody. Ask that motherfucker who got custody. Motherfucker talking about shared custody. Get the fuck out of here, man. We know Tyrone ain't raising them damn kids. Tyrone raising them kids. The worst thing you can do and he's talking about kids, protecting the kids, right? You talked about protecting kids and all this stuff and what kids should learn. You ain't even raising your goddamn kids.
Mm-hmm. Just like in this case that we're about to see here. So, yeah. Don't stand there.
Have a million spider folk, which doesn't even make sense when you consider Peter's origin.
I define everybody that's not Peter Parker as an unoriginal Peter Parker.
Talking about Peter Darker.
Fun fact, Eric used to like the character, even saying he's more than just a black Peter Parker, but he changed his tune when he found out he could make more money pandering to racist comic book fans who hate Miles Morales.
I did hear him say that.
You're just actively making shit up, ha ha ha.
Did you used to like him? Not judging or whatever. Just curious.
No.
Do you like Miles Morales then?
No.
Yeah, some characters have been written decently that are of different races and have suited up in the suit of a hero or a version of that hero. One of the more obvious is Miles Morales as Spider-Man.
You're just actively making shit up, ha ha ha.
Miles Morales has his own background. This is far better than just simply making Peter Parker a black guy. Talking about Peter Darker. But Miles is an exception, make no mistake.
I define everybody that's not Peter Parker as an unoriginal Peter Parker.
And it will always be preferable to have another character with his own unique skill set, unique art. This is far better than just simply making Peter Parker a black guy.
I did see that take before. Let me use this in a video, please. Like, do I have your permission?
Dude, please. Anything any of these griff clips that I've put together, we've got probably a dozen of them, man. You're welcome to all of them.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of them are on the Shell Clips channel, and they're there specifically to be shared.
There's oh my god, a couple of them to the playlist, but yeah, if you go to our Shill Clips channel, it's just at Shillcast on YouTube. There's a playlist of them, and anybody's welcome to take them and do whatever you want to do with them, man. It's all yours.
You know what I've noticed is that if you dig deep enough, you'll find something like this on every single one of them.
Oh yeah,
all of them. And I think some of them have taken. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say the one that's a little bit tougher would be Critical Drinker, because like his character started immediately into the grift. Well, although if you go like looking into his books and stuff like that, there's definitely contradictions.
Well, I mean, isn't his female character? What's her name? Maris? I think that's what it is. Like she's like a strong female character.
I've heard she's totally a girl boss. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, he doesn't even believe the shit he's putting out there.
I mean, there's stuff like this. It's not really exposing him as much as the grifter, just as being like completely fucking wrong in his analysis, like the this one.
You did something very interesting with Star Wars. If you think about it, the good guys are the rebels. They're using asymmetric warfare against a highly organized empire. I think we call those guys terrorists today. We call them Mujahideen, we call them Al-Qaeda.
When I did it, they were Viet Cong.
Exactly. So were you thinking of that at the time?
Yes.
So it was a very anti-authoritarian, very kind of 60s against the man kind of thing, nested deep inside of a fantasy.
Or a colonial, you know, we're fighting the largest empire in the world.
Right.
And we're just a bunch of hayseeds in coonskin hats that don't know nothing.
That's right.
And it was the same thing with the Vietnamese.
Yep.
The irony of that one is in both of those, the little guys won.
Right.
And
So, you know, just like
that particular clip, I'm actually including it in the next video that I'm uploading, the Vietnamese War parallel, because I was talking about the movie The Creator, and that film like parallels the Vietnam War, and so does Rogue One, and the director for both those films is Gareth Edwards.
Oh,
so
I haven't seen The Creator yet.
Oh, did you have? Well, you know, I'm not gonna say you have to, because like I'm a super huge sci-fi nerd, so like that's like my thing. But I love the movie. I thought you know, more people should see it. I was really sad that it failed at the box office, actually. But anyway, I draw that parallel myself, is that Critical Drinker's talking about the Vietnam War, and he's like, well, you know, this movie is like aping Rogue One. It's like, well, yeah, I mean, Star Wars is based on the Vietnam War. And like, yeah, you missed that.
Jeez. Let's see, what else? Where was the? I guess there's like the.
Are you looking at clips?
Yeah, I'm just looking to see which ones would be you know, a good one, quick one to show. But
Amazing Fantasy 15 is always interesting.
oh yeah, okay. There we go. You know what Amazing Fantasy 15 is, Birdman?
The first Spider-Man story. That's literally the basis for my screen name, the Birdman 15. That's where the 15 came.
Yeah. So I brought up yeah, I brought up to Eric July because I was looking for character motivations for Isom, and he couldn't name them. And I was like, okay, well, what's an example of a comic book we both almost certainly know, and you know, where we can talk about character motivations. So I was like, okay, here's Amazing Fantasy 15, and yeah, here's the clip where it goes. Well, what does, like, I'm asking about character motivations. Why does he do anything he does in that book at all?
Everybody does. Everybody. That's basic human action. Nobody's a robot. Everybody does certain things depending on how they process.
Yes, yeah. Characters have drive. They have ideas. Like what? Like why is he doing what he's doing?
As far as what? Give me a specific
anything. Action. Give me, like, pick your own example and give it to me.
I'm not giving you anything.
Give me an example.
I'll tell you what.
I'll give you an example. Why? Like, you've read Amazing Fantasy number 15, right?
Let's talk about. Go back to Isom. What about it? Are you asking? What specific?
Wait. You've read Amazing Fantasy number 15, right?
What specific action are you asking pertaining to Isom?
No. I'm going to get stuck on this one. You've read Amazing Fantasy number 15, right?
Are you, what? Let's talk about Isom. You just asked me a question. Let's quit moving the goalposts. What specifically about the Isom book is pertaining to like an action that you're asking about his motivations?
Dude, have you read Amazing Fantasy number 15?
All right, this isn't a gotcha. Can you please answer the question pertaining to Isom?
It kind of fucking is. You're talking about being a comic book fan.
Can you please answer the question?
Holy shit! Do you know what Amazing Fantasy 15 is?
There are plenty of people that don't.
Do you know what Amazing Fantasy 15 is?
There are plenty of people that don't know who Spider-Man is, dipshit. We know that Spider-Man is in the Amazing Fantasy number 15.
Suffering Steve Ditko, how can you not know that Spider-Man first appeared in 1962's classic Amazing Fantasy number 15?
I was just dumbfounded how somebody who presents himself as a comic book expert on the internet and
we didn't know for sure that he
no idea on Amazing Fantasy 15.
You had to go to his channel to get his chat and like kind of like time it with your stream or whatever, right? To see when he.
Oh yeah. I had the chat. I had his chat, and then I was looking at that part of the stream, and I was like, holy shit, he's looking right at it.
That's so funny, dude.
When you watch the actual debate, you can actually see like where he's really buying time until he has the answer essentially.
I'm glad I talked to you guys. Like, there's so much here. Like, this is a rich source of like exposal content. Oh my god, dude. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, whenever just to like, by the way, I don't know if you saw my tweet whenever, because Bob had a couple weeks ago, whenever you put your first video out, I think Bob in our Discord server had posted and said, hey, it's a really good video, but he says that he's the only one that has the balls to do this. And I was like, wait a second, what? So I tweeted and said, hey man, this is a fucking awesome, I think it said it was a solid video, but like, hey, we've been doing this for a minute.
I mean, I didn't mean to offend. I was saying that we were terribly offended. I was unaware.
We're not, like, honestly, we want more people to be doing this kind of stuff. There's not a lot of ego involved in it. We're honestly exhausted. So, pick up some slack. We're fine with that.
Yeah, sure.
It's healthy not to read a comment section.
Yeah.
I got another one for you. You should do the Invincible Iron Man number 55. Ask him who's introduced in that.
Do you want to know something crazy, man? Is I had a copy of that and I sold mine to Donnie Cates.
Are you kidding?
I have the fucking the what you call it, PayPal receipt still, because I was just like, that's great, because he was on Twitter and he's like, I'm looking for the first appearance of Thanos, and I don't have it, and he's like, I don't care what shape it's in. I was like, good, because this was not in good shape, but you know what I mean. And that's what
now I get to feel like the noob. I had to Google that.
Yeah, it's the first appearance of Thanos, Drax,
Yep.
And a lot of people don't know that Thanos was originally introduced in an Iron Man book. So
I didn't. I honestly didn't, and that's why it's like even cooler, kind of, that he became Iron Man's kind of nemesis in the MCU. It kind of works out that way, right?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. That's where I was going with it. Is like people didn't know that, and they were like, "Well, why is Iron Man fighting Thanos?" It's like, well, I mean, if you go back to the comics, and this is why I always say the books matter. CinemaSense's whole thing is the books don't matter. It's like they do, because like they do certain things.
They can enrich your appreciation of it.
Exactly. You put it better than
I'd say they do and they don't. It depends how you approach it. And most people abuse it.
I've never said that they matter to the story that film is telling. Like, you don't need to read a book to understand that story. It's just like you said, absolutely. It enriches your experience.
Yes.
So when you know that Thanos was introduced in an Iron Man book, then when you watch Iron Man snapping his fingers and killing Thanos, it's like, oh, I understand why they went with that. So that's so funny. Like, because I always talk about Amazing Fantasy 15. That's actually the book that got me into comics.
Wow.
When I was a kid, my uncle had a hobby shop, or he worked at a hobby shop in Compton, California, and that book was just there. I knew nothing about comics. My uncle was into them, but his comics were a little bit saucy, because they were like a little bit pornographic, and so I kind of went through his collection as a kid. I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. And then they had the Amazing Fantasy 15 just sitting there, and I did not know the significance of that book. Okay, picked it up, read it, and I was like, oh, okay, this is a cool character, and I just started to read comics from then. So
nice.
Yeah, it's so funny that Eric doesn't know Amazing Fantasy. Like, that's surprising to me.
Dude, he's got
most comic book fans would know
canon's sake. He acts like he's an expert in comics and shit like that, and it's just,
I mean,
it's not true.
One of his criticisms of Miles Morales is that Peter Parker's origin is so unique, it doesn't make sense for someone else to have spider powers. And it's like, what book was that origin in, Eric?
Yeah, right. Yeah, you got that real hot take about his origin, but like, what was that in?
Yeah. And and really, that's not a gatekeep. It's literally a knowledge check. It's like, if you're going to sit here and pretend like you know everything.
Exactly. That's what because people try to act like that was being gatekeepy whenever it came up, whenever it happened. We're like, no, we're not. We wouldn't do that to just anybody. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, the reason I
he didn't even do it
because it was literally the most famous comic book I could think of, where I was like, okay, yeah, we should both be familiar with this. We can discuss this, right?
It's the one that, like, you know, once you start getting into comics and you start wondering, oh, I wonder where these characters first appeared or whatever, because that one stands out in my memory because it's not a number one, actually. It's actually, whoa,
Yeah.
what amazing. It's not Spider-Man, it's just Amazing Fantasy 15. That's weird.
Yeah.
You know, it's
And you know, in that book, actually, one of my favorite things is that, okay, so like a lot of people attribute the quote "with great power" to Uncle Ben, but it actually wasn't Uncle Ben who said that first. It was the narrator of that
Yeah.
story. It was, and a lot of people get the quote wrong. They say with great power comes great responsibility. No, it's with great power there must also come great
also,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
like
big.
they
It's
get
a
the quote
different thing.
wrong. So when I watched No Way Home, and then you saw Aunt May get the quote exactly right.
You have a gift. You have power. And with great power, there must also come great responsibility.
That was the first time we've ever seen that quote get exactly right. And people were upset that it was even her that delivered it. It's like,
right.
Well, Uncle Ben didn't deliver it originally. You're talking about the first Spider-Man movie.
I mean, what I thought No Way Home did was kind of unique was they gave us the Spider-Man origin. They kind of complete his origin, just not in a way we've seen it before. And I'm thankful for that because I've seen his origin enough already. I think 2002 did a really good job, and I think maybe quit trying to copy that.
Extremely unique take on it. They gave us 3 movies to set up his origin. I thought that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, and they kind of snuck it in there. I wasn't expecting it by that at that point, you know.
Yeah. Now, when you know, spoiler alert, when she's dying, she's giving the speech. It's like, oh my God, they're completing his origin this way. That's so clever.
So if you're a comic book guy, you're like, you know, if you're somebody that fashions yourself as like your whole channel is about comics and like you talk like you're a comic expert and stuff like that, you'd think you'd know what like a legacy character is, right?
Oh, that kills me. Yeah.
What's the problem with the new legacy characters though? Because legacy characters are a comic book tradition.
New legacy character. What do you mean new legacy character? Are
You
you talking
understand-
about knockoff versions? Is that what you're referring to?
Okay, so you understand what a legacy character is, right?
Yes, I'm asking you for clarification. Can you answer what the question I just had?
Well, I'm trying to understand how you are asking what a legacy character is. A legacy character is simply
I
a
am
character.
saying, what do you mean by new legacy character? If they're a legacy character, they wouldn't be new.
Oh, wrong.
What? No, legacy characters are characters that carry on the legacy. You understand that, right?
Yes, I understand that, but if it's a legacy character, the character itself has been there and it's ingrained in comic books, as you just said. So what do you mean new?
Because there are new characters created to add on to the legacy. Please don't tell me you're this dumb.
So yeah, everybody, if you go to the Shill Clips channel, you can just grab all them Shill Clips. Those
Oh
grifters.
my God, this is so good. This is so good. Dude.
EVS caught line by Bob, another debate where Bob, you know, caught EVS line. Lying about a lie too. That's just double lie sandwich you caught him in.
That clip was amazing because like you can see the gears turning in his head. Like he doesn't, like you can see that he doesn't know what you're talking about. Like
it's tricky because like what does he say at the beginning that kind of indicates that he does? But
he says, "Are you talking about knockoff characters?" And that tells me he knows what legacy character is, and he's just trying to say, "Oh, they're just knockoffs."
And then he kind of pivots to act like he doesn't know.
Yeah.
And I think that's because his whole thing is just to downplay legacy characters in general. Like basically what they want, these guys don't want to happen. The Miles Morales is not Spider-Man people, like Nerdrotic does that on Twitter and shit. But what they don't want to happen is for Miles Morales, which has already kind of happening, to become, this like Wally West. You know what I mean? Like where it's like he's just as much known by a lot of people as Barry Allen, who, you know what I mean? Like
and Barry Allen's the second Flash. Jay Garrick's the first. So it's like legacy characters have been a thing. The only time you guys seem to have a problem with the legacy characters when one is black. It's like every time.
When I looked into the history of legacy characters, I found that they are literally ingrained in the very first, essentially, superhero, which was, generally believed as like the Phantom was a character that kind of like rode the line between pulp hero and superhero. He had a lot of the hallmarks of what became popular superheroes, like the domino mask and the underwear outside and stuff like that. But he was like, in canon, the Phantom is like the 16th or 17th one to carry that name and to do that role. Whenever we first encounter him, and like he's from a bloodline that all the men in the family do that. So it's like literally a legacy character is just as much a part of comic book history as having like a superhero origin. And
that's the thing, is that this is like one of the reasons, not the reason, but one of the reasons why I call these people grifters. They don't know any of this. And they proclaim to be experts, and they're the mouthpiece that everybody should believe, and they have no clue about the history of a lot of these things. So this right here, what you're saying, is exactly one of the reasons why I would call Eric July a grifter, because he doesn't know that.
I mean, I didn't know it either until I started like having to kind of like fortify my arguments against these people. You know what I mean?
And it's okay to not know something, but you didn't present yourself as an expert on the thing. And I think that's the difference. Like when Bob debated him, he's like, legacy character. He's like, what do you mean? Do you mean like the new legacy or the old? Like, what do you mean? Legacy character, dude. Legacy character means legacy character. That's so funny to me.
I've always given him the the kind of benefit of like, look, if I didn't know any better and I didn't know anything about comics and somebody said the legacy character, I can see how you might assume it would be that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, the original character would be the legacy character if you didn't know any better, but like he should fucking know better. That's the thing.
Now, when lots of people say that in my comments, I will just tell them Google is not your friend.
Man, because like I've seen these terms get misused far too often. And like in my video, I brought up legacy characters. I said these people don't know what legacy characters means. They think it means like the original. Right. Like, so for example, Dick Grayson, they would, and so I bring up Damian Wayne. I'm like, but you guys don't know what that word even means. Like, you're using it incorrectly. Well, I mean, they do that for a lot of words, though.
Robin is kind of
Dick Grayson is technically a legacy character as well. Yeah.
Who was the first Robin?
Well, no, he's not. He's a legacy character of Batman.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
It's like I figured all this out looking into it. And I did a whole stream where I spent hours just digging into the history and like literally what everything could be. Essentially, it's any character that is like inspired by another character or anything. It doesn't have to be the same motif or anything like that. It's just essentially if it's not a character that started on his own volition, just out of in a vacuum, then it's a legacy character. And Batman, like in current Batman comics, there's so many legacy characters now and it's awesome. They're all like the Bat family, right? Like it makes the comics really enriching to read. Like there's just all these relationships between all of them and stuff that make the characters more well-rounded and stuff like that. It's good shit.
Yeah.
Legacy enriches lore. That's the thing they don't like to hear, but I say it, man. Like legacy is great for a character. It's to give a character, a classic hero or whatever, a legacy is a fucking honor. That's to say this character is important. You know what I mean? Like Spider-Man being, passing his mantle to another character and letting him be that means that Spider-Man is fucking important. And I've seen people try and act like that it takes away from the original. And it's like, no, man, not at all.
And like, wasn't the original story for Miles that his Spider-Man died?
Yep.
Yeah, it's the Ultimate Universe. Yep.
Right. So like for me, it's not even, downplaying that character. That character just died. Like that's a common thing in comic books. And then somebody picks up the mantle. I never understood the issue with Miles Morales.
I just have a couple of panels that I think are relevant to this. If I can find them real quick, but here they are. So here is one of the times that I know that they've kind of addressed it directly, Spider-Man's. So you got Peter here saying, but also that sounds like something you need to deal with. You have to be Miles, not just Spider-Man. Take it from someone who's learned the hard way. And then he says, I'll check in soon. Promise you'll need help. You'll text if you need help with the clone stuff. And he says, okay, see you around, Spider-Man. I believe the children are the future. That's not the better one. There's another one that's like he actually says something more substantial along the lines of like, heaven forbid if something happens to me, I know Spider-Man will still be there for Aunt May and for his loved ones and stuff like that. And it's like that's good. You know what I mean? That's a powerful point. If Peter dies, there's still going to be a Spider-Man there for the people that Peter loves. Like, I don't know how you can really argue against that, man.
Yeah, I see it as blatant racism. That's just how I see it.
Of course.
And,
yeah, it is unique. Yeah, how they're okay with Barry Allen, they're okay with Hal Jordan, they're okay with Johnny Storm. But all of a sudden, if it's Miles Morales or Sam Wilson, oh, that's an issue. That's an interesting line to draw.
Yeah, I always forget about the Human Torch because like there's an original Human Torch and he became the Vision, right?
Yep. Well, no. I mean, part of him was kind of a little bit, but like then there's also an original Ghost Rider before even Johnny Blaze. There was one. He rode a horse and then he wore all white, and they kind of changed him up because there's some weird connotations with that whenever you really look at it. With the guy with a white, hood and stuff. But Aleph, man, like, so how many characters have you created, dude? Like, how much work did you put into those?
Oh, are you asking me?
No, I was talking to Aleph in the chat here. Saying that it's a lazy way to create a character or whatever. And it's like, yeah, man, Crypto the Superdog is a fucking legacy character. Absolutely. I don't it's just that's the take of somebody who's never created something in their life. You just know it is. You know what I mean? Like they don't understand character or anything like that. But nonetheless.
Like I get where he's coming from, but like this has been a thing in comic book history since its inception. Like Stan Lee has done this, Ditko has done. Like they've made characters take a mantle for longer than a lot of us have been alive. So I don't understand this take that it's lazy. It's like it's a part of comic book history. So it makes sense that they continue to do that. That's it's like getting upset about characters being in spandex. It's like, dude, that's a part of it.
I guarantee this dude's got characters that he likes that are legacy characters. You know what I mean?
Like, and he just doesn't know.
Hawkeye, that's true. Yeah. And then Hawkeye is one where they like to where they'll reveal themselves because they'll say, oh, Hawkeye was just like created in the last few years with all these other characters to be the woke version of Hawkeye. It was like, no, man, Hawkeye is in Kate Bishop. Was created in like the mid 2000s. She was part of the Young Avengers, and she was right out of the gate had the name Hawkeye because if you know your Marvel lore, at that point in the comics, Clint Barton was dead. So
it's a similar situation to Miles Morales and Peter Parker. Is one died. So
okay, that's not a good example. I don't like the way they did that. So. I didn't like when they're like, "Oh, your name's Robin, huh?"
And I actually think I would have liked it better if they were just like, "Oh, your real name's Dick Grayson." No, instead it's like your real name's Robin. It's like,
why?
What?
That was weird.
Yeah,
it's just like the weird thing to kind of wrestle with right at the end of this trilogy. Is like, wait, what? Why'd you throw that in?
Like,
there,
I'm cool with seeing like maybe like Joseph Gordon-Levitt do a Nightwing thing, but like his name's not Robin. That's weird.
Like for me, it was weird that you decided to throw that in, and that your trilogy is ending. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, why did you do that?
Man, I mean, I guess for the point of legacy, to like suggest that there is a legacy that will happen, and maybe I can see that, right? Like even though I'm ending this trilogy, the inspiration of Batman is going to live on, right? Like we're not going to see it literally, but you just know that it happens, kind of thing.
I'm one of those guys that I like sequels. I like sequels and prequels and interquels. I'd love that shit. So like, show me his story, please.
Yeah.
That's where I was disappointed. I'm like, oh my God. Cause I like Joseph, I'm like, I would love to see him as Robin. So just do it. But like, you're going to leave us with that. Ah, dang it.
Hawkeye isn't popular. You mean among comics fans? Of course he is. He's like the character that speaks truth to power in the Avengers.
Yes. Kate Bishop was
he always
because Hawkeye's not a popular character.
Well, see, the thing about Hawkeye, like if you read Avengers books, he's the audience analog.
Yeah,
he's the one that's there. That's like, I'm in a crazy situation with all these crazy, powerful people. Well, so I've always appreciated Hawkeye for that.
Yeah, I mean, and like they executed that really well in Age of Ultron. It's a flawed movie, but like there's the scene where he's given Wanda the kind of pep talk when they're in that.
He does say that. Yeah, that's true. That's right.
mean,
he's like,
I do think Age of Ultron's the worst Avengers movie, but I also feel it's underrated. Joss Whedon aside, who is a dick, but I think Age of Ultron's totally decent. Oh.
I guess you are, man. I guess you're the only real comics fan around here. No, that's Dean. He's a good dude. He's got his own comics that he works on. By the way, what's updated on what's going on, man? Where's the new issues of Jake Sunrise and shit? Is there going to be some more Cosmo Natalia? Gotta give me the updates. Yeah, Fractions Hawkeye was good shit. Yes, which is, I mean, they based it the show a good bit on that. So, well, I am tired. Man, this has been a good stream. Good conversation.
Yeah, it's good talk to you, Birdman.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to be here, man. I never really get like recognition like that where people are like, "Hey, come on a stream." I've done that with JXC before.
Yeah, I think we've done a stream together actually years ago because I did a couple JXC streams back in the day.
Oh, really?
Before EFAP decided they hated me.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, you decided you hated them first, Bob, and then you.
That is true.
You know what
that
you
is
did.
True.
You know what you did.
I became a target of a Rags video.
Why'd you do that?
Yeah.
You shouldn't have brought up Amazing Fantasy 15. That's a trigger.
I mean, I do feel like that debate is part of the reason why they don't want to talk to us.
Probably.
Books, records, films, these things matter. Call me shallow. It's the fucking truth.
Right? This is why I know he didn't come. He talking about Irish. I don't think he came from the Irish. He too chicken shit to come from the Irish. They built too tough for that. They built far too fucking tough. Said German. Maybe he did come from the fucking Nazis. Potentially, but he didn't come from no motherfucking Irish. He too much of a bitch. And we know he didn't come from the fucking the Scandinavians. He too much of a hoe. The boys was too tough. So maybe he did come from the fucking Germans and it was from the bitch-ass Nazis. Maybe he did. You an inch shorter than me, and I got more on you, but I'm built. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't no fucking, like, you see what I mean? You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm actually built. I'm built for this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not fucking, like, this is a solid 215. You see what I'm saying? Right? Solid. Look at this. It's a solid 215. Right? I'm built like a goddamn brick. Because you're not athletic. It's one thing if you carry it like this, right? Because I'm only an inch taller than you, right? It's one thing if you carry it like this. If you carry it like this, bet. But you not built like that. You ain't wearing no fucking tank tops because you ain't built like that. See, what? Go what you talking about? What are you fucking talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? What? And I'm bulking, son. Like I ain't even hit peak performance yet. I'm just getting started. What you talking about? What boy? What the boys talking about? Hold up. What the boys talking about? What them boys talking about? What y'all talking about? Like this is an honest angle, right? No flexing, no nothing. Honest angle, right? What you talking about? All I'm fucking saying is that this guy is sitting here trying as a guy that divorced the fucking he divorced the like that's the worst thing you could possibly do is leave your children to grow without. I know shit doesn't work out, but you are not in a position to talk about people not giving a fuck about women, right? When your bitch ass, you not even with the children trying to go to bat for women and fucking autistic people. Get the fuck out of my face. Your wife's boyfriend left your bitch ass and took the kid, said he shared custody. We know what the fuck that mean. You ain't sharing no damn custody. We already know what that mean. Tyrone raising them damn kids. Sitting there going on, like legitimately is try like, so, all right, so we know you grooming, right? We already know you on the groom tip, right? Not on the groom tip, like legitimately out there arguing on the position of teaching trans shit to second graders, bro. Motherfuckers on some weird shit. So you might be on some, I don't know. I ain't gonna call you a pedophile, but you know. Ain't gonna call you a pedophile, right? But on some shit. All I'm saying is you in no position to be acting like you give so much about fucking the women. Your bitch ass couldn't even stay with yours. Shut the fuck up talking to me. I'm not gonna do that, right? I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna use aggression on you, but all I'm saying is people done got knocked the fuck out for a lot less. And you going around, imagine someone going around, hey, you fucking hate yourself, bitch ass. Nigga, like, wait a minute, hold up. Never done anything athletic, and he talking sideways. Like I said, like he's gotta see me anyway. Don't let me go to a con and his motherfucking ass is there. He has to see me. Right? And I ain't saying I'm gonna knock his ass out. He's like, is that a threat? Like, ain't nobody threatening you, motherfucker. We already know you can't whoop my ass. That's not what the dispute is. I'm saying we gotta have a discussion, and there might be someone that's a lot less patient than me